Welcome to Copy Chief Radio. Today's show is a wisdom tree episode where well-known legends and even lesser known but wildly successful entrepreneurs share their hard-won wisdom and actionable advice for succeeding in business. To check out all the Copy Chief Radio episode types, go to copychief.com/CCR. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you and your time, your ear holes. Thanks for spending them with us. I plan to fill it with something good. I got Rob Dube, who I'm just getting to know. And the reason I know about Rob and what he does at the 10disciplines.com is because he works a little bit with Gino Wickman on this project. And if you don't know, Gino Wickman is the founder of the EOS system, which you've heard me talking about. We've been installing in our business. It's really been transformational. And it's actually the first time I got to hear Gino speak. I had read his books and I had a different vision of what he was like. I don't know. I was expecting more like an older gray-haired guy. And here comes this guy with full of energy and verve and passion. And Gino made it very clear, like the thing he cares about now is this optimal life, this idea of living an optimal life. And it all happens through these 10 disciplines. And Rob, you are partnered with Gino in this, and you are really, he told me you are the visionary for this project. So this is your thing, really.
It is. And we're excited about it because, we both love to help and we're lifelong learners. And so this is all about sharing some of the lessons that we've learned and that we've seen others learn along the way and putting it into a nice tidy bow so people can incorporate it into their lives and build a strong foundation for an optimal life.
Let's talk a little about that because, there's obviously it's a crowded market, right? However we want to label it, self-development, self-help, all these things, so critical. I remember, Rob, when I was looking to transition into business, trying to learn everything I could about business, but really what made the difference, somebody had given me, here we go, cassette tapes, showing my age, but of like Earl Nightingale. And it was folks like that. And I listened to that stuff, Jim Rohn over and over. But I think, what happens? I think when people go through a phase of that, and then they tend to think, okay, I got it. I know what to do now. But we know really this is a lifelong journey of adopting these disciplines. What makes the 10 disciplines stand out amongst things people think they may have practiced before?
Well, the thing that I love most about them is they are simple. They're practical. They're fast. And they're fully customizable to your unique self. And so while they're not necessarily easy to incorporate into your life and keep them there, that's what we help you do. They're very understandable. So you'll get it right when you hear it. And it's as simple as us sharing a statement and you don't almost need anything more. But then the hard work comes in terms of incorporating it into your life. And again, that's where we come in.
Keyword, they're disciplined, right? You got to practice it.
Exactly.
Got to make it.
It's a scary word to some, but we're trying to make it less scary.
All right, let's have an example, if you don't mind. Grab one of the disciplines and
Sure. Why don't I start at the first one? Discipline number one is 10-year thinking. For each one of the disciplines, we have what we call a root statement. And that sort of is the all-encompassing statement that if you just did that one thing, that's all you really need to do. And so what we want to encourage you to do is shift your mind from short-term thinking to thinking in 10-year timeframes. We're kind of wired to want everything now. I want it right this moment. But there is such power in thinking out in 10 years and imagining what you want your life to be like. And when you do that, time slows down and a funny thing kind of happens. You start to actually get there faster, because you're making better decisions, more thoughtful decisions. So that's a great starting point.
I love that. Brings to mind for me, like, because you're thinking long-term, you're thinking, well, this is who I am. It's a practice and it's an ongoing thing, but I've decided that this is the way I am compared to giving it up to the wind or whatever comes my way. I'm in control.
Right. Exactly. And if you know clearly what you want out of your life, and it could be something really simple, like a strong relationship with your family. Well, the actions that you take today will make a difference in what that looks like in 10 years. So you're more mindful as you make your way through life. And so it could be as simple as that, or it could be more grandiose. It could be a big statement, a vivid picture of what it looks like in 10 years. It's really up to you.
I think of that with fitness as well. I'm 52. And
me too.
Are you really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. 1969ers.
Okay. Yeah. 70, February 70 for me.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know about you, Rob. For me, obviously, people talk about things change. What's changed for me is I don't want to, getting injured is off the table compared to even like 3 or 4 years ago where I was like, let me join this high impact class and really test myself. Now I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to break something. And then I'll be out for 6 weeks and So I'm seeing a trainer now and he always talks to me in yearly increments where he'll say like, if you get this discipline now and do this move the right way, in 2 or 3 years, you won't believe. And I'm thinking, I like that. Like this idea of 2 or 3 years, I'll still be, because there's some point where you will get to an age where you start to become more limited, but that isn't for a long time for guys our age.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. So to think of it that way is just a more refreshing way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I get it. I know there's so many communities. I'm doing air quotes, communities for entrepreneurs out there, all filled with their own version of overnight experts chirping at you from behind the screen. You got your Facebook groups, your clubhouse rooms, just experts galore. How often do you feel like you're being pinballed around from thing to thing and picking up a little bit, a little piece there? How much of that is actually making it into your brain and your fingers and your business and affecting your money? How many of these people are actually out there in the field getting their hands dirty and testing to find out what actually works and what flops? Well, in the Copy Chief community, a real community, you get shoulder to shoulder with the most active, successful marketers working in the trenches today, all while learning from industry legends who rarely teach anywhere else, if ever. Copy Chief is an amazing community, super newbie friendly. Also, you'll find, elite level marketers and copywriters in there. They're all working to become the best at their craft, get paid top dollar for their skills, stay ahead of the competition by keeping their finger on the pulse of what's working now. That's the X factor when you're backed up by a community and you can get any question you have answered by people who actually do this stuff and can tell you from real world experience what to do for your project, for your offer, for your funnel, for your clients. Man, you're unstoppable when you've got that kind of confidence. Go check us out at copychief.com/join. If you've never been a member, you're going to see what you've been missing and you're going to say, where has this been all my life? And if you've been a member in the past, I would invite you to come and check out all the new stuff. We've completely updated all the tech. So we're on brand new platforms. Everything is slick and smooth and easy to access. And it's never been better. Copychief.com/join. I'll look for you inside. I know you guys have a program. There's various levels, I think, of coaching, right?
Yep.
Where you walk people through. What kind of people join the coaching and what kind of results do they get?
Well, these folks are high performers at their core. They've got the basics of life down. They understand the importance of getting a good night's sleep, making sure that they're eating right and they're getting their exercise in. None of this needs to be over the top. They have a strong work ethic. Again, none of this has to be perfect, but 80% of the time there's awareness there. And so they're really, at a point in their life where they're looking to go to another level. And that's where the optimal part of this comes in, because you've had some measure of success. You've got kind of a foundation there built and you're ready to build on it.
And what kind of ways do they see it? Like I always ask people, especially as a copywriter, I love to ask people who have had a transformation, what's a moment you experience now and you catch yourself going, oh, I wouldn't have been doing this. Or I would have been thinking of this much differently. What do you hear from your people you mentor in this about?
Well, one of the disciplines is know thyself. It's discipline number 3. And that's be you 100% of the time, 24/7, 365. And what oftentimes happens is as we make our way on through our life's journey, we show up as different people depending on the circumstances. Some people like to refer to it as being a chameleon. And oftentimes people are very proud that they're a chameleon. I could fit in any circumstance. But what we really want you to do is let your freak flag fly. I mean, be you, everything. Let it out, because that's what people appreciate. I mentioned to you before we got started, I was looking up some things about you and trying to get to know you a little bit, and learning that you were a comedian and you incorporated some humor into this work that you're doing and just your backstory. And I was like, I really appreciated your authenticity. And when we feel that from people, we're drawn to them. And, I always like to share, kind of an example, or let's just say you and I are chatting and we're with a third person and they walk away, and I might look at you and I say, did that person have like a weird energy? And you might say, yeah, I picked up on that too. That's because they were being a chameleon. They were being inauthentic. They weren't truly letting themselves shine. And we don't want, our clients to do that. So that's what we coach them on. One of the things we coach them on.
Yeah. I love that. That's such a good example, because that's when you really kind of see it, when people are putting pressure on themselves to make something happen. And they're kind of, you see this at conferences and things like that, where people say, oh, okay, I'm going to go there, and the only way I can get sort of some return on the investment for this is I'm going to hand out 100 business cards, and I'm going to connect deeply with 50 and deeply to them. Then they ask like questions like, what has you most excited over the next 6 months? And you're kind of like stumped, and you're like, I don't know. And then you feel dumb for not knowing the answer to that question, right?
So good.
So be you all the time. That's, you're right. And that it does manifest in this sort of undetectable, intangible thing about people, where you go, that's just a cool person. Like I always tell people that I work with, try to bond over something other than business. Like, sure, that, it might end up being transactional, but in my experience, if you have a shared love of music or pets, even anything, small talk is okay. Small talk is actually productive. I think people think, oh, I don't want to be one of those people who just small talk. Small talk shows people it's safe to be with me. I'm not going to try to make you feel small in any way or one up you, right? I'm interested in you. It's a valuable tool that I think people shouldn't overlook and let it just happen organically.
Yeah. And, there's many ways that you can work on getting to know thyself. And, again, it's a life's journey. So you'll always be learning every step of the way. A simple way of getting started is by taking one of those personality profiles. They're very inexpensive. They all kind of give you a different window into who you are. And so they're all educational from that standpoint. If you want to go to a next level, we always recommend go to therapy. We're all just a little messed up, most of us. And therapy could be a really useful tool to help you to get to know yourself and where some of your triggers in life have come from, or your idiosyncrasies, all those types of things. So those are the kind of things that you could start to do to kind of go a little bit deeper, really understand yourself better. So when you show up, you're truly authentically you.
Love that. That's true. Yeah. It takes courage to be vulnerable like that. Here's my experience with therapy, Rob. Maybe you recognize this. I've tried 3 different times to do talk therapy, right? And it's expensive, right? It's $150 an hour, something could be more. And I go there, and what I do is I solve my own problem. But first of all, I'm bringing in a little bit of guilt because I have an amazing life, right? And so I'm having to work past and then they tell me, of course, well, it's all relevant. Okay, great. Let's tell them something that's on my mind, and I'll just talk through it. And they sit there and nod, and I'm like, okay, no, that's actually not the big deal. And then I leave there and I go, when are they going to hop in? And after 3 sessions of that, I'm like, I'm down 450, and I don't see where this is going, And so I'm not patient enough with the process to let the person do their job.
It is a process. It really is. And you go in with intention and intentionality, and, they're trying to learn who you are. It's such a unique relationship because these people aren't your friends. I like to think of a good therapist is like a good physician, really. It's just, they're working with your mind, your physician's working with your body, and we have very unique bodies and very unique minds. And it takes time to figure those out, and takes time to get a little bit deeper.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it's not as easy as like go do a blood panel and
That's right.
I'll let you know if anything's out of whack. Right.
That's right. In your mind, right? Would that be great?
That's great. Okay, so everybody, the 10disciplines.com, the number 10, so the 10disciplines.com, and then go to /Copy Chief Radio. They have a special gift for you if you want to learn more about these. Go through some. What do we start with there, Rob? What will they experience when they go to that page?
What the specific page for your audience, they'll see a little bit about you, and then they'll have an offer to embark on any of the journeys. We have a video-based journey, which is an online course. We have a group coaching sessions that are once per month for 90 minutes. And then we have one-on-one coaching with me. And so those are some of the offerings there that are available to your listeners, and they can choose the one that seems to resonate most with them.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 20% off if they go there. Again, I'm excited to go deeper into this and get to know you better, Rob. I appreciate you coming on to talk about this. Like I said, it's we're never done. Like you pointed out, this is one philosophy where clearly we're very locked in. This is a journey, and we have to do the work to keep getting better.
Yeah, that's so right. Just stay focused, be a lifelong learner, and your life will be so much richer.
Love it. Rob Dube, everybody. Look for the links in the show notes, and we'll do it again, Rob. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man. Hey, don't forget your goodies. Head over to copychief.com /CopyChiefRadio to get some great free stuff to help you put the things you hear on the show into action for your business. copychief.com /CCR.